Hi, welcome to our winter edition. I mean true winter. This is January and it's cold outside. It is just blistering cold outside. And if your pets have to stay outside, please make sure that they have a way to stay warm. I came across a really nifty kind of idea as a shelter for people who have outdoor cats that they feed. And I know that there are a lot of those in this area of Washington, and it doesn't take anything more than some hay, some insulation, styrofoam, and I guess you could use something else as well, and a big kind of Tupperware tote. And I thought that it was a great idea, and that way you can leave it outside and they can be warm and dry, and everybody's happy. January is also a time when people are considering taxes and donations, and there are an awful lot of entities out there that are claiming to be animal charities, and I would simply say please check before you donate and make sure that your money is really going to help animals in our community or wherever you would like it to be, but do please check to make sure it's a valid charity before you give your hard-earned money to do that. This is Raz. Raz is a beautifully marked black and white. Our volunteer pointed out that he has the Holstein thing going on. That would not be in size necessarily, but it would be in color pattern. A little too much white for a true tuxedo, but what an absolutely lovely kitty. He does well with everybody. This would be a good cat if you have kids in the family. The only thing I would say is that he really and truly detests dogs, and so it probably wouldn't be a great idea to adopt him if you have a dog in the family. Isn't he attractive? He's just such a nice guy. This handsome dude is called Valentino. I think Valentino has been through some skirmishes. One ear is pretty much fringed, and the other ear has some spots on it, like the hair hasn't grown back. And I think maybe he has a history that he hasn't told us. I'm kind of glad, really. But he's a neutered male. He's about 4, and albeit having had a hard past, he is still a really nice cat. So I think that you really ought to come check out Valentino. It's not like he's a hard luck story, but I think he's a guy that deserves a somewhat easier life than he's had. It's been a tough one. Yes. He has some really interesting little white polka dotting going on too. I think that's rather distinctive. Although you do see it in black cats, you don't see it usually as widely distributed as you do in this one. You just see like a few white hairs on the chest, which he does have, but then there's white sprinkled in his coat all the way back. What a sweetheart. This is an older kitten that, as you can see, is a brown tabby and white bicolor. This cat has an absolutely remarkable coat. The striping on it is very distinct, and it doesn't end. In most tabbies, you have the black stripe that goes down, extends down the tail. This one is just, you can see where the stripes meet at the top, but even that kind of spots out into striping. And some of the stripes come up as circles, and some are just straight. So it's really kind of a combination, classic tabby and tiger tabby. What a pretty, pretty boy. He's really just an older kitten and hasn't been neutered yet, but of course that's part of the adoption process, and so that will happen. I think he's adorable. Yeah. Let's see what you do with some treats. Is there a treat hound hidden in that furry body? Why, yes, there is. This is really a kind of a experiment. I haven't found a cat yet that doesn't love this particular kind of treat, and I'm thinking maybe today I'll find one, but I don't know. Looks like everybody so far is pretty much convinced that they're just great. Want you to meet Powder. Powder is a very large kitty. He was brought to us because the family had a new baby, and Powder wasn't very happy about it. So if you have very young children, it may be kind of an issue. I think Powder has just kind of a strong, dominant personality. He has been a well-loved cat for a lot of years, and his introduction to children was a little abrupt, I think, because the baby came home, and he considers that his space, probably. Of course, you know, he's a cat, so anyway, with older kids, I think that probably Powder would fit in very well. Now, I'm not going to tell you that this cat would never bite, but what I would tell you is that he would give you plenty of warning. So he's kind of a dominant guy. It's a personality type that we see fairly often in neutered males, but you know, he is, as I said, a cat and all that comes with it. I really like him. He's very upfront, and he's incredibly attractive. His face looks almost like a British Shorthair rather than our American kitties. This is 2 of a litter of 5. All of them are female, and they're all marked rather similarly. We have Whoopsie. We have just a basic tuxedo pattern going here. These are very young. They're about, well, they're edging toward 12 weeks, but probably at this point they're about 10. And the perfect age for adoption. It's strange because for years and years we've said, oh, well, kitten season is pretty distinct and it ends before Thanksgiving, but this year it hasn't ended. We still have kittens coming in, not outrageous numbers of them like we do in the spring and early summer, but we do have kittens if that's what you're interested in adopting. And there are some situations in which a kitten is going to work better in a family and have a better success possibility than an older cat. And for those situations, then, you know, we have a good possibility here. And those would be situations where you have a dog, for example, who has lost his cat companion, and you want a cat who can learn to adapt to that particular safe dog. Or you have an older cat that is, say, male, and you want to introduce another cat into the family, and in that case, a much younger female would be a very good possibility. There are other kinds of things, situations in which a kitten is definitely a better choice than an adult cat. But these two are really cute, and we have 3 more that look pretty much just like them. This is Sugar. Sugar is possibly the first kitty we've had that hasn't dived straight into the treats. How interesting. Sugar is kind of shy, and she's a little anxious in new situations. Certainly we've seen lots of kitties like that over the years we've been doing this TV show. But Sugar came in with her sister, who is named Ginger. I would think it would be Salt, but no. And Sugar is she's in good shape now, but when she came in, she was kind of a mess. And I would still not really recommend this kitty with young children, with teenagers, possibly, in a family that is very patient, in a single family or in an adult household. This cat would probably adapt quite well, but this is the kind of cat that you kind of prepare yourself for being, well, she's going to hide under the bed or behind the recliner or something for a while. She needs some time to adjust to new situations. You don't want to make this kind of cat an outside cat because you'll never see her again, and you probably do not want to give her access through a kitty door or something because, again, you're not going to see her again. This is the kind of cat that it's best to keep isolated in a room for a while after she comes home and let her dictate the pace at which she integrates with the household. You can let the household come to her for a while. It's amazing what kind of power a cat has, isn't it? This is Skeeter. Skeeter has allegedly been an outdoor cat. That's altogether possible. He is somewhat shy, a little uncertain, kind of wary. This is the kind of cat that would probably survive well outside, but I don't think he's going to make much of a pet that way. He is, according to the owner, or the previous owner, his favorite is wet food, and I expect that he would probably adjust rather well to dry food with a little dollop of wet. Because you don't want to feed a cat only canned food. Their dental health is going to decline very rapidly. Of course, maybe he was out crunching up mousies and things, and that kept his teeth clean. Considering his current level of tension, though, I'm not going to go digging around in his mouth. So anyway, Skeeter would probably make a very good barn cat. I'm not sure he would be great around young children. In an adult family, I think he would relax very quickly and become a good pet. This is the kind of guy that you want to come to you, because once he makes up his mind, then he'll make it work. This is Mittens. We're not sure why she would be named Mittens because she doesn't have any, but we haven't discounted the possibility that she is one. And she would definitely keep your hands warm and your lap. And, if you wrapped her around your neck, I think she'd probably keep that warm too. She's really a very nice kitty. This is her favorite toy. She really likes that particular mousie. Yeah, see, she's checking to make sure I didn't put it too far away from her. And she is, I think, a cat that would adjust to children, young kids, or, at least middle grade school. And she is also a kitty that would adjust to a busy household. The only thing is she is long-haired. Now, that means that she's going to have to be brushed, but she likes being brushed, and that's half the battle with a long-haired cat. So, not such a bad thing going on there. It's really kind of fun. Plus, people are always saying, oh, they get their hair all over everything. I would take long hair any day over very short hair, because long hair, you can just swipe something across it and it's gone like magic. Short hair embeds itself in carpeting and upholstery and what have you, clothing too. And the long hair is really, I know it's counterintuitive, but it's easier to control. So I think she is a lovely cat. She came to us with no ear mites, no fleas, nothing of that sort, which is so unusual for us. So somebody has loved this kitty. She has had a very positive association with her person, whomever that person may have been. I guess we have something of that person because we know that her name is Mittens. So I guess that may have come from her microchip. She is really a very nice cat. I like Miss Mittens. Yes, I do. Thanks so much for joining us for our kitty section of the show today. Now hang in there, don't go away, and we will show you some dogs. Perfect companions for these long winter nights. Welcome to the dog portion of our show. This is Bowser. Bowser is 10 months old. We're not sure what his lineage is exactly. We understand it's Sheltie and Corgi. As a Corgi owner myself, I can't imagine anything less likely to be attractive. But he is. Look, he's just a darling little fluff ball. He's not going to get much bigger than he is now. But he is a puppy. He's 10 months old. He is super active. This dog needs an incredible amount of exercise. This dog would be a great running companion. He'd be a great walking companion. He is just a little darling and probably has the same kind of herding instincts that any Corgi or Sheltie would have. Seems to be a lot more outgoing than most Shelties I know. Does have a lot in common with the kinds of personality that my Corgis have. So I think probably the wiggly, happy, willing to go after anything that's moving sort of personality is what you've got here. And somebody who's also very willing to learn if he can just keep his mind in the right place for more than half a second. Yeah, a little distractible, but very cute and very huggable. Yes, this is Furrier. That's F-E-R-I-R. Furrier is 2 years old. He's a neutered male, and he's an elk hound mix. We're not totally sure what the other half is. Probably shepherd. He has a really beautiful pattern. He's a very attractive dog. The front end looks kind of Malinois-ish, except for the fact that he's very, very square and sturdy. And the back end is very clearly elk hound. His tail curls up very tightly when he's happy. And he's a pretty happy guy, so it's that way a lot. But he's a really attractive dog. I think he'd be a good family dog. Sometimes the elk hounds are a little bit aloof. I don't think this one would be. I think probably he would be a great family dog. What he would like is your undivided attention. And I also think that he would do very well in obedience training. In fact, he could probably run off a pound or two and it wouldn't hurt a thing. The elk hounds do tend to become a little square if they're not exercised regularly. Kind of like us people. We think this is probably a little Akita mix. And you're going to take those more gently, little guy. He's going to be a large dog. He's quite young right now. In fact, I can attest to the fact that he still has his puppy teeth, and they are like little needles. I know. I'm not being nice. I'm not giving you all of the treats at once, am I? Oh, no. Anyway, cute, cute little dog. Definitely is going to need training. Very definitely is going to need an owner who is aware of the sorts of difficulties that Akitas can get themselves into. I know, they're down there on the floor, and you would go get them, wouldn't you, if I would just let go? But then he would go somewhere else as well. And I don't, there we go. Is that better? There. Now then. Very food driven, which means this guy is going to be pretty easy to train. Is going to require a lot of consistency, a lot of exercise, some very good limits, but just a very nice dog. I know, with a lot of potential. Very cute. Of course, is there a baby ever that isn't adorable? This one definitely is adorable. This is the only chocolate out of a litter of 8 labs. We are pretty sure lab is the predominant breed here. There may be something else in there. The little black labs have some white on them, or at least one of them did. And the yellow labs, and there are quite a few of those, have some other coloring kind of mixed in. So we think that there was something else going into that genetic stew, but mostly lab. And this one looks very, very pure chocolate lab. She was a very shy puppy when she first came in, and she's made great strides. She's only 8 weeks old, and I think she's very cuddly, but this is a dog that you would really, really want to focus on training with. For some reason, the chocolate labs tend to be a little more like Chesapeake Bay Retrievers, I think, than the yellow labs or the black labs. And I don't know precisely why that is, but they tend to be a little more dominant, a little more frequently aggressive than the other colors. And that may be simply my perception because I'm kind of an end point for dogs that don't play well with others. And so that's just something that I'm aware of in terms of labs and their colors. I really kind of have come to like this little one. She has the rather distinctive kind of green eyes that chocolate labs also often have. Yes, and she seems to be a little gentler. And yet very, at this point, human aware and willing to bond. And who can resist a puppy after all? I know that she's been through a bath today, and I am very grateful since I'm snuggling her right now. And the blow dryer, which she did not like at all, and everyone in the entire shelter, possibly in the entire block, now knows that. She has great lungs. And she is up in adoption, and I think she's going to make some family very happy, but only if she is an integral part of the family. This is not a dog that's going to tolerate isolation casually. But with her, we will end our show this time. Thank you so much for spending your time with us. We really enjoyed being with you.